My brother, on the other hand, has likely spent more time contemplating this as it is something he has been eagerly anticipating. After supposedly collapsing upon hearing the king's final request from Princess Anne, Prince William, the heir to the throne, left everyone in disbelief. The media is going ballistic over this surprising reply to the king's letter, and many are trying to guess what the king wanted Princess Anne to tell Prince William. Speculations abound on the contents of the message, but the atmosphere within Buckingham Palace is growing increasingly tense as all eyes are on Prince William for his next move. Who needs to know about the king's final wish? Come find out with us what it is. Williams passes out. After receiving message from King Charles. King Charles, 75, has been dealing with health issues related to his age for the last several months. The result has been significant reforms inside the monarchy that he has instituted. While Prince William was occupied with his family, King Charles made an impromptu, last-minute request in a note addressed only to William. However, the contents of this memo sent to Prince William are unclear. Find out by continuing to watch. King Charles requested Princess Anne, his dearest and most loyal sister, who had been by his side throughout his life, when he finished penning the message. In response to the king's last wish, Princess Anne made haste to visit Prince William at his residence. Anne startled Williams by showing him the note. Williams did not hesitate to open it, but he was taken aback by the message's contents. Reportedly, he was filled with emotion and was unable to answer before collapsing. Williams' unexpected response startled the small personnel there and led to wild guesses about the nature of the king's final request. The note dropped from Williams' visibly frightened palm as he collapsed into a chair, revealing everything, according to an insider who was present throughout the breakdown. As she hurried to calm William, Princess Anne snatched up the message and put it away securely. Williams and Princess Anne remained together for the remainder of the afternoon. Reportedly, she spoke with him for more than 2 hours before stealthily leaving the house. Everything pointed to the fact that Anne and Williams were taken aback by King Charles's demands, and the note held a shocking revelation. But what could the king possibly have said in the letter that he would have been unable to convey to Williams by telephone? Is it possible that it included a shift in the succession plan for the future? Maybe it was related to Queen Camilla, though. Despite the fact that William's mental health has been shrouded in secrecy since the tragedy, a much larger story is developing behind palace walls. King Charles spoke with Prince William, but what did he say specifically? Stay tuned to discover the answer. Millions of people around the world, including royal watchers and insiders, are wondering what the king's last request was. The king's final request has sparked numerous intriguing theories, some of which have the potential to irrevocably alter the monarchy. But Buckingham Palace has chosen to remain mute on the matter. The most widely circulated theory among those who follow the royal family is that King Charles, in an effort to foster harmony among his sons, supposedly begged William to pardon Prince Harry and help him reintegrate into the family. William and Harry's long-term estrangement is well known. Tensions have been building since 2016, particularly when Harry started seeing Meghan Markle. When Harry asked William for his opinion on the relationship's trajectory, he told him to take things easy, but Harry paid no attention. William consequently enlisted the help of Charles Spencer, the brother of their late mother. Charles Spencer was requested by William to speak with Harry personally after he voiced his worries. Harry was very upset by this choice. He thought William didn't approve of their relationship and was attempting to pit the family against Meghan because of his brother's meddling, which made him feel betrayed. A schism developed between the brothers at this point. Even when Harry eventually married Meghan, tensions between the brothers never really subsided. Internal problems persisted. But Harry's decision to resign from his royal duties in 2020 made matters worse. Prince William did not approve of this choice, but he was cognizant of the difficulties Harry and Meghan were experiencing, particularly the negative publicity and public outcry. Williams was taken aback by his brother's sudden behavior and his decision to appear on national television to interview Oprah, where they explained their departure from the palace and criticized the royal
family. During their interview with Oprah, Meghan and Harry gave the impression that the royal family lacked compassion. My family depends on me to accomplish this. Everyone is expecting this. It's tragic that things have escalated to this stage. According to Harry, the royal family knew about the negative tabloid headlines about him and Meghan, but they did nothing to change the story. Similarly, Meghan said that her tenure as a member of the royal family was the most difficult time of her life. The royal family was portrayed in a negative light by these harmful revelations. Not only that, though, Prince Harry became embroiled in multiple legal disputes with the King's ministers after the Sussexes departed the UK and after Queen Elizabeth II's death. To reclaim his royal security, he sued them. It came to light in 2020, when Harry and Meghan were leaving the royal family, that the family had chosen not to provide Archie with security while they were in the UK. Because of the lack of guarantees about their safety, Harry voiced his unhappiness with this on multiple occasions, saying he worried his children would never have a connection to his birthplace. He went on to say that the only occasion the king had personally invited him to visit the UK was when he was granted security. According to reports, the king was unable to contact Harry or voice his feelings on the subject due to Harry's ongoing legal battle over royal protection. Any statement made may be utilized by Harry's legal team in court. Because of this, the king and his son became emotionally and physically apart. Despite Harry's best efforts, the connection between King Charles and William has apparently deteriorated. After all, Harry was the one who decided to withdraw, therefore he was the one who had to deal with the fallout. Charles, whose health is deteriorating, probably doesn't want to pass away until he sees his boys make up. He supposedly wishes for their reconciliation. William, there is one last thing I need from you, according to royal experts who think the letter might have read. Permit my sons to once again stroll hand in hand. It is imperative that all members of the royal family show unity and forgiveness. William took a major emotional hit when he was allegedly asked to reinstate his brother into the royal family. William has been largely responsible for royal tasks since Harry's departure, without the assistance of his brother. William enjoyed having Harry around, even though they didn't always get along. Having his loved ones nearby gave him strength. Someone like Princess Diana would have wished for it. Her lads banded together, encouraging one another and overcoming obstacles as a unit. William felt betrayed by Harry's choice to depart. Knowing William will be king shortly, and that they could have shared the load, Harry could have stayed and weathered the difficulty. Instead, Harry departed, leaving William to deal with the demands of the royal family on his own. Nevertheless, the current inquiry concerns William's willingness to pardon, put the past in the past, and re-establish his brother's position within the royal family. I thought this was the very building that Harry had vehemently opposed in public. A tremendous burden had been lifted off my shoulders. This choice had put William's rule and reputation in jeopardy. William may have crumbled under the emotional strain of the request, the stress of the situation, and his own internal strife. Such a huge decision was just too much for him to handle at the time. However, the king's last request still has more mysteries to reveal. The king's final request, additional speculation. The dying wish of the king, conveyed by Princess Anne, is still a mystery. Another widely held belief regarding the nature of King Charles's final wish is that he wished for Camilla to continue as queen following his demise. The title of Queen Consort was simplified to just Queen in 2023 for Camilla. This unexpected change caught everyone off guard. This is particularly true given that on her 70th birthday, Queen Elizabeth II expressed her desire for Camilla to be known as Queen Consort, rather than Queen once Charles became king. While Prince Philip continued to hold the title of Prince Consort during Queen Elizabeth's reign, his new title was different from Camilla's. But after Charles became king, he eliminated the consort title, and Camilla started acting more like a queen. Princess Anne was one among several who spoke out against the plan, claiming that Camilla would never be officially recognized as queen. Even nevertheless, the decision of King Charles could not be overturned, and the title remained in place. Reportedly, this title change made Camilla feel more equal to Charles and provided her the chance to continue as queen.
When he passed away. According to reports, Camilla relished the authority and stature that came with being queen and was hell-bent on staying in the role for the foreseeable future. It should be noted that Camilla's ascent to power and ambition was predictable. A lot of people had seen her climb the royal ladder from being called a house wrecker and a mistress to being one of the most powerful ladies in the realm. Her ever-increasing popularity among royalists and the steady stream of royal engagements helped to dispel the scandals that had dogged her reputation in the past. It was said that even Princess Anne, who had been one of her harshest critics, had acknowledged her as queen. Reports surfaced in 2024 that Camilla had argued against King Charles' choice to make his illness public during his health concern. Rumor has it that she did this in order to maintain her role as an underdog manager. She yearned for command. Prince William, though, has always been an obstacle. No closeness has ever existed between Prince William and Camilla. William and Harry were opposed their father's marriage to Camilla, and William has always remembered how his stepmother was a factor in the breakdown of their parents' marriage. Even yet, Camilla ascended to a position of prominence within the royal family and is currently considered one of the 10 most beloved royals. According to those in the know, though, Camilla is unhappy with the plans William has for the British monarchy. If William were to become king, Camilla would formally become Queen Dowager. But rumors have circulated for some time that Camilla will be entirely ignored once William becomes king. Even in her post as Queen Dowager, she would be accorded little importance or responsibility within the royal family. Some think that even though William warmed up to Camilla, he would still depose her once he became king. Imagine if the king was pleading with William in his letter to pay tribute to Camilla, would keep her at his side, providing comfort as she nears the end of her life, rather than abandoning her. According to royal analysts and insiders, William's facial expression indicated that the letter was about Camilla, even though it might have read anything else. If William's father was pleading with him to forgive his stepmother and ensure that she had a significant part in royal affairs following his death, then William's emotional collapse would make sense. However, is it even feasible? William has been showing hints of discord with his father's desires for some time. William recently spoke about his goals for the monarchy in an interview, stating that he desired to steer the ship with the royal rather than the royal family, the larger R. William intended for the royal family to be smaller by putting less emphasis on older members like Queen Camilla, and more on younger, more approachable ones like Princess Catherine and Duchess Sophie. But William's ambitions for the monarchy failed to impress Camilla. She allegedly confronted him after becoming enraged. She refused to relinquish her regal responsibilities to her younger consorts. As soon as he became king, William had already intimated that he intended to diminish Camilla's influence. Her status was jeopardized by his ambitions, which would probably make her irrelevant in the kingdom. Reportedly, Camilla begged King Charles to disapprove of William's progressive stance. On the other hand, William maintained that, in contrast to Camilla, who was perceived as a member of the traditional monarchy, the younger royals were more appropriate to engage with the present generation and represent contemporary values. More strife ensued within the royal family as a result of this. With his health deteriorating further, King Charles spent more time indoors, leaving more responsibility for Prince William to shoulder in preparation for his coronation. Nonetheless, Camilla did her best to maintain public visibility throughout her reign as queen. Neither retreating nor adopting a more subdued stance were on her radar at the moment. Rather, she stuck to her guns, determined to keep her duties and her position in the limelight. Imagine instead a confession instead of a request. What would happen then? Rumors about King Charles concealing documents after Princess Diana's death have persisted for a long time. Letters, diaries, and other personal writings that she had preserved are among these concealed papers. Unfortunately, none of these were ever made public. They were all secretly kept. Some in the royal family have speculated that the king may have opted to confess some things to William as his health deteriorated, and he worried he wouldn't make it. He could have gone the direct route and written to William. He was likely
Embarrassed or afraid that someone would overhear their chats, thus it was best not to see him in person. Supposedly, there are eyes and ears within Buckingham Palace's walls that are always listening in on conversations. Is it possible that the king had written, "You should know the truth about your mother by now"? That kind of message may have sent William tumbling to his knees. This kind of profound insight would alter his life, and perhaps alter the course of royal history as we know it. However, what truths regarding Diana would Charles like to share with his son? Maybe these were her last words to her boys, secret messages that were never revealed to the general public? Alternatively, it could be Charles's retelling of the events surrounding his relationship with Diana. Perhaps Charles was ready to tell the truth now that Diana had famously told her side of the story in interviews. Many have speculated about the king's final message, but everyone is holding their breath, waiting for even a hint, particularly from Prince William, among royal watchers, insiders, and the general public. Nonetheless, since hearing his father's last request, Williams has changed, according to those who analyze his body language. Rumor has it that William has been much more subdued and quiet recently. He seems remote and his expressions heavy. Williams has changed, as was evident at his most recent public appearance. A new side of Williams emerged in response to the note. The burden of the message is now on Williams, but this is only the beginning. Continue reading as we learn more about the secret weight Prince William is bearing. Pressure from within and without, the royal family has been mounting on Prince William, eldest son of King Charles and the future king, and he has been struggling to cope. However, he felt the burden of his father's intimate message. In addition to being the husband of Catherine Middleton and father of 3 beautiful children, William also holds the title of Prince. Struggling to meet both the demands of the monarchy and his domestic responsibilities has not been an easy journey. William long prioritized his family above everything else, yet he never wanted his kids to go through what he did when he was a kid. William frequently sensed his father's absence when he was growing up, who was always occupied with duties related to the royal family. Nevertheless, William and Catherine quietly pledged to prioritize their children above procedure at all times. However, everything changed abruptly with King Charles's cancer diagnosis. William was thrust into the spotlight and thrust into a leadership role. The royal family's workload rose. The scrutiny and mounting pressure were both directed towards him. As a result of the pressure to step up, William and Kate have also been the subject of criticism. According to some sources, they aren't doing nearly enough and still prioritize their family over the monarchy. Princess Catherine, for example, came out about her own cancer diagnosis in 2024, the same year that news of King Charles's illness broke. For the sake of her health, she stepped away from her royal duties for a while. Additionally, Prince William made the selfless decision to spend time with his wife. Many found this heartfelt, but some in the royal family saw it as a delay, a squandered opportunity, and a disappointment at a time when William was supposed to take the lead. His focus was squarely on his family, who he was comforting and supporting emotionally. Many people's hearts were moved by William's decision, but it also brought up some interesting considerations. Was he capable of juggling commitment with duty? Due to his fear of losing his wife to cancer, Prince William was unable to fulfill his dual roles as a husband and prospective heir. He retreated accordingly. Charles, King of England, approved of his son's choice to visit Catherine. It would have been inconsiderate of him to expect his son to leave his family and devote himself fully to the monarchy when he was fighting his health problems. The entire royal load was pressing down on William, causing him emotional and physical stress. Nevertheless, as Catherine's health healed, William resumed his usual responsibilities, with an emphasis on the crown and his family. With renewed vigor, he returned to his regal duties. In contrast, Catherine has not felt overwhelmed by her responsibilities, as her health is still her first concern. But ever since King Charles's health scare, Prince William has been the center of attention and continues to feel a great deal of generational strain. Although Charles has not officially abdicated, he has continued to oversee royal activities from his sickbed, working behind the scenes. William, meantime, is helping
out around the house, which has increased his burden significantly. Prince William is known to be patient and kind most of the time, but those who have worked closely with him say he can be difficult to work with. This kind of conduct, however, is not novel. There has been open discussion of William's temper by King Charles, which at times was explosive and brought to recall the raging desire of Princess Diana, who had passed away for him. Their conversations can be tense at times because King Charles is supposedly more patient than William. Although Charles occasionally loses his cool, his outbursts are usually brief and easily forgotten. William's indignation can endure. He remains by William's side for some time whenever he flares up. Spare, Prince Harry's memoir, detailed William's explosive personality. They went so far as to say that he had physically knocked him down during an argument. These moments highlight William's intensity, even when they are unsettling. Just like his grandpa Prince Philip, Williams is notorious for removing obstacles to development. His associates, however, believe that William's motivations serve the royal family well. Aside from his bravery and devotion, William is very devoted and protective. He exerts tremendous effort and refuses to tolerate any disgraceful portrayal of the royal family. He has worked hard to earn the respect he currently enjoys and has cut ties with everyone associated with the affair, including Harry, Prince Andrew, and himself. People anticipate a new monarchy, one that embodies William's ideas once he becomes king. According to those in the know, William will not have the same strict and official administration as his father. Rather, it will embrace a contemporary, welcoming attitude while preserving the finest of British culture. More people will be able to use it. There is widespread agreement that William and Catherine are exceptionally sociable and emotionally intelligent. They have always preferred to have meaningful, one-on-one interactions with the public rather than merely perform ceremonial roles. Instead, than wasting time at meaningless events like ribbon cuttings and photo ops, William intends to devote his time and energy to issues that truly matter, at events that fail to make a significant impact. Diana, Princess of Wales, hinted during her lifetime that she was preparing to have a son who would one day rule the country. William, drawing on the benevolence of his mother and the resilience of his grandmother, is carrying on that vision and quietly re-establishing the monarchy. No matter what monarch Charles wrote in his note, one thing is certain. Prince William is well prepared to follow in his father's footsteps as a great monarch. Possibly, perhaps, The world has finally found its modern-day monarch in Prince William. In your opinion, what could King Charles possibly say to Prince William in a letter that would cause him to pass out? Post a comment below to share your opinions. Please subscribe, like, and share for more content like this. Please also click on the video that is now displayed on your screen. Go ahead and enjoy it.